page. So now we on live. So 3 p.m. So I would like to welcome and greet everyone and distinguished guests who is here with us in this room, and also for the audience from live Facebook. So this is the discussion room 2. So today we will talk about multilateral approaches to environmental diplomacy. I'm Phuriphat, Kruanopparatana. I'm the moderator for today. The issue that we will talk about today, we have 2 important issues that we will talk about today, and the 3 speakers will talk about the environmental diplomacy and also how Thailand should be in this environmental diplomacy, and also about the COP30 that will happen in Brazil. So I would like to introduce each speaker. First, Dr. Kritsada Boonchai. He is the secretary to the development of civil local community from Thammasat University. Secondly, Mr. Wijarn Simachaya, director of Thai Environmental Institute. He is graduated from Canada. And our third speaker, Dr. Nuttavikhom Phanthuwongpakdee. He is the professor from Puey Ungphakorn, Thammasat University. And he finished his PhD from National University of Singapore. So for the discussion today, we will have time for each speaker for 10 minutes. So the first slide for the first speaker. So we will start with Dr. Kritsada Boonchai for 10 minutes. So if you have any question or would you like to share your view, we have microphones. And I can also give the microphone to you. So we will not exceed 4 p.m. or if it's so without further ado, I would like to invite Dr. Kritsada Boonchai to begin your part. Hello everyone. So we have a chance to talk together about the top issue because now it's about the COP30 in Brazil. So with the climate change and also another thing you may already know, but I would like to invite you on a discussion about the multilateral approach and also how to negotiate in multilateral approach. And what we would like to talk about is when we see this multilateral issue on international lens, and also the mechanism of multilateral approach, how can they how can they solve the mankind problem. So my slide may be a little bit hard to read because the alphabet may be a little bit too small. So first about the UNFCCC that we signed on in 1992. So we have known about climate change for a long time because after the Industrial Revolution, we have affected from the carbon dioxide and carbon emission. So, and from that time to today, so the journey begin with UNFCCC that they study on this since 1998, and then we have the convention in 1992, the UNFCCC, and if we see the carbon emission, since we have the first UNFCCC, we have the carbon emission for 26.8 ton, and we came into industry era, and then the emission rise more in 1990, and you can see that the temperature of the world is rising and the emission is more and more.
Yes. เราจึงต้องมีหาข้อตกลง
That's why we have the agreement within the UN. Before they have more, other topics like the states in Stockholm 1972, so that the problem put in but we still have no equipment apparatus to solve. After we have convention, then we have the stage or equipment with its COP, so that we set up the rule and regulation of the world. We have first COP in 1995 after the convention 3 years later. So we have from 22 million to 23 million. That's the use of fossil in industrial. And then when we have COP, we have kind of negotiation, and we have the new agreement at that time. We have the Kyoto Protocol in 1997. So you see the number from increase from 23 to 24.5 million ton. The Kyoto Protocol have the equipment, which is we have kind of various project to make it clear energy, thing like that. So we have to kind of reduce the emission, and still there's no stopping or reducing the use of fossil in industry. So then 2015 we have another agreement, which is Paris Agreement. Then still moving forward, the emission of the gas, CO2 gas, that's still from the industrial. Right now is 37.4, as well as the use of the land. First of all, I want to reflect the equipment and the agreement from international stage or international community still cannot change the acceleration. If you see it from the table, the use of fossil still increasing. The world right now still depend on the use of fossil fuel, or even we have the new kind of energy. So you see the rate. If you see only from 1997 to 2015. So everything is increasing. So that means that the agreement and another equipment still hasn't worked fully. And from the COPs, you see any development in the as a agreement, we have the Kyoto Protocol that we want to we have the objective, and then we have the Paris Agreement. So you see that we have kind of agreement or rule and regulation, but that's not the legal binding. Each country can or cannot, if they cannot obey this agreement, there's nothing we can do about that. So this is a kind of background. Since we have the UN after the World War II, we have the objective of that we have a cooperation in the world that to solve all the problem. UN came after the World War II to have the peace, to have peace in the world, to solve all the peace. But anyway, we cannot reach that objective. So how to make it happen? Then we have objective such as we want to reduce the increasing of the world temperature. So what we have seen is that when we have objective like that, all the countries, they still obey this. Still there's a gap, because otherwise that it will work. It will stop increasing the temperature, increasing the temperature. And then we have kind of new policy on climate change. We have various of climate change action like net zero or many things, etc. Like economy with a low carbon emission. We have kind of new technology. We have kind of carbon credit, but all of this is not happening in the real world yet. So we have the new kind of equipment like carbon market under the Kyoto Protocol. We hope that that the one who produced the emission have to pay for it, but still the process, still the country that produced the emission, still they're not responsible or pay that much. Like the country who pay can use it as the buy the carbon credit. There's a kind of offset policy that's why the objective is changing, because we kind of use the policy of responsible and
So this is the problem, and other side is that the money that come from this market is not going directly to the problem, the cause of the root cause of the problem, like how the people live in the world, the poor one, did they receive this money to help them solve with the climate change problem? And even though we have green climate fund, and also we have the carbon market, but we found out that this money is not directly to the root cause and tackle the problem directly. And so we have the new agenda that come, that we try to find the justice for climate. Like we have loss and damage issue for the fund, which happened in COP 27 and 28. So this loss and damage fund have been set up, but they still don't have the money. and the country that have the money, they don't pay for the emission that they have. And so for the COP, they try to push the issue that if the fossil is the root cause, can we phase out this fossil? Like we can set the time, like, but for phase out fossil is not succeed now and cannot put in any COP meeting. So they just put other words like transition away from fossil fuels, which they try to make the meaning like more less important. So my time is about to end. And also one of important thing of every COP is that people engagement in the COP is very low. Like in the Brazil, how many people from Thailand will come to this COP? It's just the expert and also government agency and some NGO. But people, how can normal people go into this COP? And how can people be the part of this COP and from down to top? So you can see the movement in front of the COP meeting, but what people hear outside is different from what people hear inside. So how can we reflect this out into the meeting inside, and how that even though everyone try to have the NDC, try to reduce the emission and try to talk with their partner, try to solve it, many countries, but they still find obstacle. So I would like to end my talk this time, and so we will see what the root cause later and how to solve it.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Will after Dr. Boonchai, that's still the next problem of the world has three topics, which is climate change and the crisis of the biodiversity.
3 เรื่อง pollution เรื่องปัญหามลพิษเราก็ประสบปัญหาอยู่ PM 2.5 หรือแม้ตอนนี้เราพูดถึงกันเรื่อง rare earth นะ
We have like rare earth topic that will affect us. This is also the important topic. Before we kind of have a problem of the environment concerning development, every also World Economic Forum has the effect that will affect the economy, which is the environment issue.
So as for the environmental issue is the most important thing, especially on the green line here. You can see we have seen a lot of issues like rain bomb, or the loss of the biodiversity, or drought, or flooding, or the destruction of natural resources. These are the most important issues. And why Thailand have to take consideration these issues is because Thailand is one of the UN members, and we have the risk-prone issues as well. And right now, as from the climate risk index, you can see that we have the ranking of Thailand in the risk-prone factor has been increasing. And at the moment, you can see that we have got some rains in the winter, and also we have got the flooding in Masai area in the northern part of Thailand. But actually, in the winter time, in the drought season, we are experiencing the PM 2.5 as well. These are all the most significant issues on the climate change. What about the climate change? Is the world is going hotter? Is it true? as from the information from Dr. Boonchai, he said that you can see that last year the temperature has been increasing as the highest number according to the Paris Agreement. Actually, the temperature of the world should not increase more than 1.75 degrees Celsius, but actually it's gone higher than that. But as for Thailand, we have emission around 3 million tons of carbon dioxide equivalent. And Thailand is also the risk-prone country for this carbon dioxide emission as well. So also as for the loss and damage issue that Dr. Boonchai mentioned earlier, is also important that we should take consideration. And we can see that from the climate change, they have changed their goals all the time, especially in the Paris Agreement. The leaders of the countries, prime minister or presidents, will gather and inform about the climate policy, especially with the greenhouse gas emission policy. We can decrease by 50 or by 20 or 25% or not. It's up on the leader of each country. And also there's the conference in Glasgow as well, and also in Paris, which the member countries gather and then make a promise, but actually they cannot achieve what they have said. And next, in the Glasgow conference, every country will have to announce the year that will come the net zero emission. And also the Director General on the climate change of Thailand said that 2026 we will reach that goal, but actually we have to expand our promise again. And also it deals with the international trade, especially with the energy, because when the foreign investors come to invest in Thailand, the first question they ask is that do we have the energy that we can be replaced or not. And also we can talk about the environmental diplomacy. And the most important is about that we should have the representation, or also we should have the freedom of the press as well, as what as from what they mentioned in the IPU. And also they should have the common goal that they should have the sustainability on the climate issue as well. And also on the environmental management, we need the cooperation from all sides. And also what the effect that we have. And you can see that we also experience with the transboundary problem, for example, with PM 2.5. And also from the heavy metals from the mining in the water resources. And also we have the negotiations between countries, and we cannot control the counterparts for the negotiations. For example, on the transboundary problem in ASEAN, just like the PM 2.5, we cannot control our neighboring country to stop the burning the forest. And also let's see the ranking of the SDG index of Thailand. And also we will see about the sustainability of Thailand. At what position are we standing at? Actually, in the next 7 years, we have to complete with that SDG. However, have we reached that already? Actually, in Thailand, we have not yet reached that part. You can see from the red color and the yellow color, you can see that in the red color, there are the issues that cannot be achieved at all. For example, on the biodiversity, good governance, and corruption. And as for the countries who can surpass all these issues, who can achieve the SDGs are all those European Union, Finland, Sweden, Denmark, Germany, France. They have got their permanent plan or a clear plan so that they can compete with each other. But on the contrary, when you look at Thailand, it's on the opposite side. Actually, as for SDG index, you can see that in Thailand, we still rank number 45 of the world, and we are number 3 in the ASEAN. You can see that we can pass on the SDG goal 1. Is it true that we are free from the poverty in Thailand? When we talk about the free money contributed by the government, is it true that we receive or we distribute the money to all of our Thai people? And these are some of the issues that happen in the ASEAN country. And also we still experiencing the problem on the environment, on the corruption, or SDG 6, goal 6 on the rule of law. And next one, you can see that what they have evaluated are all those environmental performance index or EPI from last year. You can see that Thailand ranked number 91st out of 180 countries. And their indicators are all those 85 indicators. And as for the environmental health and the air quality, we rank number 139th. And you will see that soon we will experience with the PM 2.5 in the Thai air, Thai climate soon. And also we are experiencing with the drought and flooding. And also as for the biodiversity index of Thailand, we are ranked number 101st. And we talk about the Environmental Democracy Observatory. You can see that the public participation or rule of law, you can see that in Thailand, it was this index was conducted by, or this report was conducted by the Indonesian university, and you can see that as for Thailand, we rank almost at the lower part of the statistics. Is it true? So this still is, we still have this question about the evaluation. It depends on the agency who will do the evaluations. Everybody has big data. However, the most important thing is that how we can administrate with the big data that we have in country. How can we administrate it very efficiently? And also when we're talking about the transboundary air pollution, we can see that it was not, we cannot say that where exactly those haze pollution or air pollution started from. It's quite hard to define. And also we have the air pollution or ASEAN transboundary haze pollution. And as for Thailand, we are trying to encourage our neighboring countries to have a good management on the haze pollution management. And also as for the water resource, you can see that we need the cooperation on the Mekong region as well. And we also have the toxification in the river. How can we decrease the impact from this water pollution? And also as for global plastic treaty, we will have the newest on plastic treaty because it's become the transboundary problem as well. For example, for the microplastic, if you go to have the doctor check or the health check, you can see that you have microplastic in your blood as well. If we do not manage with this plastic pollution or contamination in the water, it will become the severe problem for health and for everyone. And then we go to the policy recommendations. We should be ready for the negotiations in any form of negotiations. And we should provide with scientific research or data or when we talk about those heavy metal contamination in the water resource in Kok River or Sai River in the northern part, we need the statistic, and also we need closer cooperation with the neighboring countries so that we can gain the most from such cooperation. For example, the cooperation through the South cooperation. And also we need the rule of law, and also the data or information publication so that the public can reach the information. So this is all of the information I would like to talk, and we'll talk about it later in detail. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Wijarn. Next, Dr. Nuttavikhom, please. Thank you very much. Nuttavikhom, I have to say thanks to Dr. Kritsada and Dr. Wijarn. Thank you very much. Kind of use the infographic from SDG Move, and that's the ranking of SDG that they can compare, but informally. But you see, we have achieved from the reduce the poverty. So, like today, I will talk about the today topic. The first two lecturer or speaker, I have to say that we have I have not prepared the slides. Back to from Dr. Wijarn have said like CRI index. Like before, we have like from number 9 we improved to the rank 30. Many of you may think that we have reduced the risk. It's better, right? Yes, maybe it's better, but as a academic, the development academic, I think that is the lure. I think we have to look into it, like it's better or we are better or other is get worsened. Like Pakistan, there's the country like Global North, they have the disaster problem, so like they are worsening. So the base of the goal is like 30 years, so we kind of reduce to like softening, and also the extreme events, they maybe not look into the kind of average of the data. We have to look into the average of each country, not into look deeper into each area, which is the risk area or the policy of the country within the country. So it's sadly the kind of average from the country, like extreme disaster, like a drought, flooding. So we have to kind of look into the, like many of the researchers, like Thailand is get worsening on the drought. We have to depend on fishery and agriculture. So, and the increasing of the sea level will affect the community within within the seaside community. So I think that many of us doesn't look into detail of it. Like the strategy of development, you have to look into like many countries. We have to look into the mainstream development. That's especially on economy. We talking about the news that about Thailand. We have kind of development. Many we improve many things like GDP. So we kind of highlight the development of economic more than fairness. So we have kind of development that is not fair to every citizen. We have kind of centralized in Bangkok, development in Bangkok and suburb area only. So kind of like the development, they're not giving to kind of countryside or anything like that. Like when we have like flooding in Bangkok, so we have not looked into other areas. So we kind of only highlight on the in Bangkok area only. Though we have to look into other area that they have the risk, and we also paying attention on the improving of the economic. So environmental problem, we only have like only talking about the environmental resources that we pay attention only. Like right now they have pay attention to rare earth only, but in our country, like we cannot deny that we depend on the environmental resources. We kind of depend on the agriculture. Not only that, we have been pressure, not only within country, we have pressure from other country outside as well. So Ajahn have said some of it. What we have kind of Cold War again, not the same Cold War, but it's the Cold War that on the green diplomacy. Not only we have talk, but we kind of strategic war. Many pressure from various sides. You can see that CBAM, we did talk about the CBAM from Europe. There's the weapon, economic weapon to pressure our industrial. Their pressure, we have like a strategic, like between China and US. We have a kind of technology, EV investment from China in Thailand. So we have also CBAM from the European Union as well, and US has the diplomacy on economy, like supply chain, to compete with China, and they have the diplomacy on gas to kind of compete with China. So we kind of have the point, we have the, so you see that it's similar to Cold War at that time. They have fight from that. This is the pressure that will affect. So we have to prepare the ESG that private sector have to do it. So if we look at Thailand, inside Thailand, we have tackled many environmental issues, but still like silo. What is silo? That's not failing of the management, but the important thing is look into the national interest, protecting international interests, and to protect our economy of the country, but they don't put into the deeper look on the citizen side. Private, they use ESG not because of their love our earth, but they do it because I think no one will. But actually, they do it for their customer. So they kind of.
Actually, the people are the one who is important to give the consideration to the government policy. But actually, who cares? This is a question. So the most important thing is that we should empower our people so that they can see the whole problem. And once we have the big data, how can the people can reach all those big data on information inside? How can they achieve, or how can they can reach the information? When we talk about CBAM or Green Deal, actually the people do not know what they are. Do we give them a good education on these issues? This is a question. And also we should provide evidence for the government so that they can provide such information or evidence to fight against the opposition. And also we should provide power to the private sectors as well, because this is the most important thing, that we have to take concern on our people. And once we have the internal platform that we can link with the information or with the knowledge, Thailand can change our role in the global stage. Because actually, as for Thailand, we receive a lot of impact from that carbon dioxide emissions from other countries. This is something we should present to the COPs. And also, we should not be the passive or the receivers of those environmental impacts. We should be the one who can fight against this issue. We can be the center, we can be the leader on this environmental protection in ASEAN or in global stage. And also, as for geopolitics of Thailand, we have stand at a good location, and we can be our leader in this issue. So before we move on to the next section, we should be concerned on the environmental diplomacy and also the environmental democracy, because they are not they're not the separation, but they are all the same issue. And diplomacy cannot be strong if we still have the corrupted or the failure of the democracies in our country. Thank you. So thank you to Dr. Nuttavikhom on these issues. And also, as for our three speakers have provide us with the analysis of the in the biggest picture of the environmental issues in Thailand. And also, as for our stage or our forum, our seminar today, we are trying to give the answer on the environmental problem. As for Thailand, as for us, we are Thai people. We can see that the Thai people have not yet participated a lot in the environmental issues. So we need the public participation, because this is a part of the democracy. And since we are Thai people, Thai persons, how can we be responsible with the environmental issue besides providing the demonstrations? And the important question is that, do we have another bridge, another linkage, so that we can deal with these environmental issues, so we can bargain more, we have more power to bargain? And as for next thing that we will discuss is that, as for Thailand, how can we act in the global stage, or how can we perform our position in the COP, in the next COP in Brazil? How can we provide our recommendations to the global stage so that we can surpass the environmental problem? And three of you have said about the trade interventions like in CBAM. Consider if we don't go invest, then we will not gain anything back. If we truly love our world or not, this is the question. And also, as for the multilateral channels, so that we can run our diplomatic policy, is also important. And then I would like to ask all of you about this issue.
ได้ครับ
Each for 5 minutes, please. If you have to see the channel, I'm not have that much knowledge to answer it. But if we look through the COPs and then how to participate in that, if we look through the policy of the international relation, we look at the idealism theory. That's how each institute act. If we have the kind of policy, good policy, strong policy, not knowledge, but indeed it is goodness. Like Trump still said that climate change is not true. It's not going to happen, but we have to accelerate this because of we have looked on the economic first, something like that. Or if we talk about that, each country is still doing the climate change try, but we not look into the failure of using environmental resource. We have are we gonna use or solve that, or we can have the policy that can solve this problem and also meet the objective of zero gas emissions. So if we have not looked through this, so Thailand need to provide the goodness or moral of policy on environment. The next, like liberalism philosophy, we have the multilateral channel that have the good governance. We have the policy, or we have to good governance. If we have a conflict of interest, like COP 27 or 28, they evaluate that they have to many lobbyists that participate in that COP, like more than 1,000, that even though it's less than the leader or the representative from the government, but they still have look through the lens of liberalism. They have to, we have to have the good governance policy and also participation from down to the top to the COPs. And then we have if we only have representatives from government, many from government sector only, and we have the representative of the oil fuel company, then if we look through the liberal policy, that's not fair. We don't have the good governance. And now the realism policy, the U.S. not agree, and China doesn't agree, doesn't have any agreement. If the world will be destroyed or something like that, they don't care. So if they think that the fossil fuel is more important than their national interest, so there's no way that these countries will participate, or maybe only participate just for nothing. We have other philosophy with we have capitalism philosophy, and have the core area and then the outside skirt, and then like Thailand that receive from the core area. So resource technology. So this is a cycle of capitalism, and then the capitalism say that we still have to develop. That capitalism is not the problem of climate change. Have you say carbon capture storage? Have you ever heard of that? This is gonna use it in carbon credit is the answer of and they have the carbon trade. So all this interest will be put into the center or core area, but still the environmental problems still occur. You see that Kanchanaburi province, there's still problem, but developing countries still have the problem, and they have the still low-tech technology because of the price of the technology. That is, if you agree on this philosophy, so then you have to think of the fairness, how to stand strongly, not to be affected by this kind of colonial philosophy. Why we have to understand the climate change, economic And you have to look at the effect of this problem through the people, to the citizen. Do they not know? They not know the problem of climate change? Actually, they know. So, in each of the UN meeting or in any other organization, you have to listen from the down to top. So you have to look into outside of this. So we have to open the knowledge to in many areas, and we have to accept various thinking. Everyone, rich or poor, they will be affected by the climate change. So they will not believe in this theory, whether the academic or economists. The democracy not only voting, that's the democracy on knowledge. That should be so that what Thailand should do. You have kind of we have to put or speak or voice on the problem in Thailand. Why in other many community they not accept the policy. Why we have to accept the increasing of the economic development, the number of economic improvement or something like that. So climate change come with the power of knowledge. We have to do it. We have to voice that or agree that there's many aspects of this problem.
Thank you very much. I believe in science because I am a scientist and I also keep practicing, keep being scientist. So if we can reach the information, if we can access to information and we have the correct information, we can solve this problem, and this can also go along with the democracy. And when we talk about environmental diplomacy, we have to be ready to have our position before we come into the part of the world. So we have to see what affects us the less. Especially now we have the climate change. We see the statistic. We see the net zero. We try to reduce the net zero to like 388 ton carbon dioxide per year. But to reach that point, we have to be net zero. How can we reach that? So, as Dr. Boonchai said about the offset policy, offset is very important because if we saw how we can do with offset, I think the government is also talking about the offset policy because we cannot just buy carbon credit from other to get offset. And one other thing that we talk about a lot about the forest area that we have now, or the green area that we got, we would like to increase into 55%. But now we actually got 30-40%, and how can we reach that point for all these statistics? It's very important number that if we can have some help from the people, we have to think about what they earn from helping us. And also the government has the policy on BCG, like biocircular green economy, that they try to help with the environment and help with the knowledge. So for the BCG, the important thing is that what we have, we just do less, but to use the science and knowledge to help with the thing we have. But when we change the government, so the government also changed the policy. And for the other country, like country in Europe, when they sell anything to that country, they're just not concerned about the quality of the goods, but they also see the supply chain, where is the goods come from, and like if we sell chicken, what chicken eats, or what the agricultural products, where do they plant these products. So this is what we have to prepare, because we have to prepare for the statistic that we would like to have, and not just the government can do, but we can also ask help from the private sector as well as from the people, and also the people in the area, which is very important factor that they can help us on this, but we have to see what they would gain from helping us, and how can we make this sustain, and we have to have the law and regulation that they can follow. So this is what we all have to do, that we have to concern about the people who live in the forest as well. So this is our linkage together with link with other country as well. Thank you, Ajahn. So please, Ajahn, Dr. Nuttavikhom. So last 5 minutes, actually, from the academic view. For the academic view as well as public sector, we have to destroy all the fake statistic or all the fake information, because this is quite difficult, because we now in the capitalist world, and all the media would like to have their news spread out, but we have to divide which one is fake and which one is not fake. And if everyone got the correct information, so they got the information that they can bargain with the government. And also I think knowledge is like the bridge to the government and also to other sector as well, because now they got like citizen science, that they have knowledge about their area, and also government can also use this information to reach to international arena, not to just help Thailand, but we can also have the real information that actually is the fact. And one more thing that the two doctors said is that we have to talk with other country, but our voice is quite low, because now Thailand has the mechanism of becoming a part of ASEAN and also Mekong cooperation. But when we talk in COPs, which is Global South, I think people in this meeting will understand us more. We can talk more in COPs, like not just Thailand affected by climate change or any other environmental issue or transnational boundary transmission, something like that. How can we find a way together? How can we find mechanism to fight this together? So I think this is what Thailand could do in the international arena, and also other ministry and also other government agencies can talk with the people about this as well. Like we have the SDG index that each province and also each ministry can be part of this, like the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. They can join us to hear what people think, what the experts in the area think about this. So I think this kind of platform is one of a good thing that the government can start with. And so the government can hear the voice from people from each area, and they can also, even though they cannot let everyone go to COP, but they can take the voice, take the thing that they reflect to the COP, like take all the information from them into COP. So if you don't, so I think this is not difficult thing that we can do. Okay, so thank you, the three speakers. Now I open the floor from the audience? Do you have any question? Or would you like to exchange your idea with the speaker? Please. So please introduce yourself, where you from and your question.
For sharing ideas about environmental diplomacy. My name is Namhyuk Kim. I'm Deputy Head of the Mission of the Korean Embassy in Thailand. I heard from the floor about the key to the solution for environmental issues would be information and knowledge to be shared with the public, and then the information will flow into the government, and the government would take action. And also the participation of the private sector is important to reach the goal. And in consideration of the nature of the environmental issue, which is transnational, we need environmental diplomacy, right? So that's my understanding, and this is my take from the today's discussion. And I have a question here because I think people are usually motivated by economic incentives, and those economic incentives can be formed through regulations. So I think the first step to address environmental issue is to I think there needs some consensus about the issue first, and then government will take action to form regulations, and then the regulation would lead to economic incentives to private sectors. Then the private sectors would act and react to that incentives. Then the government can achieve the goal. That's my understanding. So I'd like to get some ideas about because you mentioned about the private sector. I think the role of the business is very important. One of the panelists said about the quality of goods is very important. However, it shouldn't compromise the environmental justice for the people. So, how do we lead business to act in accordance with the regulation? And what kind of economic incentives can we use to reach this goal? That is my question.
ครับขอบคุณครับมีท่านอาจารย์จะตอบไหมครับ
It's more on ตอบภาษา
ตอบภาษาอังกฤษก็ได้ครับเดี๋ยวแปลก็ได้ครับ
So your question is more on the economic incentives. That's something that is also very difficult as well, especially in countries like Thailand, how to make companies more concerned about the environment. And I myself, I'm not an economist, so I would say that it has to come from policies and how government would have to come up with all the incentives to encourage large companies to concern a little bit more about the environment and at the same time about the society. This is the challenge that Thailand as a country have to do, because obviously it's one of, like many Asian countries, big company has a lot of says in terms of power, and they can also sway and also can influence a lot of the policy as well. But I would still think that economic incentive also come from the policies, and at the same time it also come from like the people on the ground as well, because people are the one that are demanding the products and services. Because if we encourage them to be more transparent about what they are doing on the ground and let the people know that the companies are trying their best to be more environmentally aware, then I would say first incentive from the government. Second, how to make people concerned, because people are the one who are using the products, who are using the services. So once people become more concerned, they would demand companies, they would encourage the company to be more environmentally friendly and care more about the environment. That are some of the incentives I can think of at the moment to sway businesses to become more aware of the environmental problem. And at the same time, if we can convince the big companies, some of the companies to, at least for the case of Thailand, when one company can transform themselves to be a bit more environmentally friendly, then they can lead a platform, they can become one of the leaders that encourage other companies to follow the same. And in Thailand, we also have like a platform that are currently doing that through organizations such as UN Global Compact that also encourage a lot of companies to become a bit more, like environmentally friendly. But for the case of Thailand, a lot of work still has to be done.
Okay, thank you very much. I would like to add, especially economic instrument is a very important issue. Our new regulation, for example, like a new Air Act, just new Clean Air Act, just on the process of development in economic instrument is one of the issue that we are cover in our new regulation, and also public participation, also very important issue, especially concern on the root cause of the people.
ครับก็
Yes, I will translate a little bit. คำถาม the question is how to have the
นะครับอาจารย์ทั้งสองท่านก็ได้ให้มุมมองว่าก็อาจจะต้องมี incentive หรือเปล่าแบบแรงจูงใจอย่างอื่นที่ทำให้บริษัทเนี่ยเขาอยากที่จะปรับตัวให้มากรีนมากขึ้นนะปรับตัวให้มันเข้ากับการรักษาสภาพแวดล้อมรักษาสิ่งแวดล้อมมากยิ่งขึ้นนะครับซึ่งมันก็อาจจะมีหลายอย่างซึ่งก็มีคนเคยเสนอไว้เยอะแล้วนะครับอาจารย์อย่างเช่นเรื่องของภาษีลดภาษีอาจจะให้รีวอร์ดใช่ไหมให้เป็นรางวัลอะไรต่างๆเกี่ยวกับบริษัทที่พยายามปรับตัวให้มัน
to have incentives like more green so that we can see this thing as important issue that they have to do. And also other country also have like this kind of mechanism, like the global north, they have this kind of policy. And also to have people have more knowledge about this, and also raise awareness among the people about this matter as well. Any other questions from the floor, or any one would like to exchange with the speaker? Or anyone from Facebook Live, do you have any comments that you would like to have the questions for our speaker? So I think today we gain knowledge and also perspective. The new perspective, or not quite new, but we see how it's important to our earth. So I would like these three speakers to like have the conclude sentence for like 1 minute. Why environment is important, and how which mechanism like multilateralism or anything that we could do so that Thai people can what can Thai people do in this matter. So as I say that diplomacy cannot goes without diplomacy. Whether you are SME or you are a big company, you have to use diplomacy. Diplomacy is important, especially on this environment matter, because Thai always think it is a small country, but Thailand is actually not that small. But we are not destroyed our environment compared to other country, but we are affected from the country that destroy the environment. So if we do not think or we do not talk with other people, do not talk to other country. So it's like quite bad for us. So how can we not be the victim, but be the one kind of regional leader or ASEAN leader? And also diplomacy is important because we have to persuade other country to be part with us, because just one country is not big enough to voice their voice, but with a group of country like ASEAN or BIMSTEC or Mekong region, we have more voice to voice out. How can we have this channel? So I think diplomacy is the quite important matter that can lead us to the world arena. So when we talk about environmental diplomacy, we have to talk about the active matter. We cannot be just receive, or we cannot just wait for things to happen and then we cope with it. So the environmental issue is the transnational transboundary problem. So that is why we have to deal and also to cope with other country, to cooperate with other country, because all this affect back to us, and this is also depend on the chance that we got and also the time that we have, because we have to prepare. Like in my talk, we talk about rare earth. Do we have enough information about rare earth? Where do we have rare earth, and what effect do we have after we find out this rare earth, and what we have to prepare for this? So all this information about how we collect the information. So this is the important matter that we have to prepare for the people who will be whether the diplomat or the other agencies that have to talk. They have to have all this information from the people in the area, and also they have to understand this matter well, because and people like us should be understand this information as well. So the important change that happened not actually come within the meeting or the international arena meeting, but it's actually come from voice outside that make the change. So we have the environmental issue in UN meeting, like Landel Kazan have been talk about.
In rainforest, and to protect rainforest in Brazil, in Asia, Africa, that many that they will not count this, and then kind of happening, and then we have come to sustainable development. That's this not happening inside the meeting room. So the voice outside, in fact, is the more important. It is the voice that concerning the rights of the people, the rights on the environmental issue like PM 2.5, and the right on the use of water. If the sea or the ocean or the mountain has their voice, in New Zealand, they're making the voice of the environmental. This will put in as a topic, as a crisis of the world. If you see that this topic of environment just has been put later, if you see the meeting of the former meeting, any meeting on environment, this issue just put in later. This Gen X will about this, but the new generation, they cannot deny this problem. They put into attention of this issue and that they will change the will or the activity of this issue. Thank you very much. Before we leaving, please scan the QR code so that we know what do you think of this seminar and what we have to improve. Please scan the QR code in front of you, in Thai language on the left-hand side and in English on the right-hand side. Thank you very much, all three speakers. Thank you. Thank you, all of you, for being here in this seminar, and also the one who watching from the Facebook Live. Our session is the end.